Social media is blowing up with a flood of behind-the-scenes shots from James Gunn's Superman. Let's start with the hottest scoop. We finally get a detailed look at David Corenswet in the suit under natural daylight. Predictably, a lot of DC fans are tearing it apart, likening the suit to something out of the CW and even cheap cosplays. But let's keep it real. BTS shots rarely capture the final look of characters, and knee-jerk reactions can be way off the mark. Just compare any similar set photos from already released movies and you'll see what I mean. No matter how much we criticize the suit, it's a done deal. Filming is in final swing, and there's no way anyone's convincing Gunn to change the design or ditch the trunks. Gunn has his own vision for the DCU and isn't afraid to embrace classic comic accurate looks. These bright, fruity colors say a lot, especially when you put Corenswet side by side with Henry Cavill. These are two different directors with two distinct concepts. All I can do is hope for a solid storyline because that's what can truly save the movie. The suit itself is so-so, but let's wait for the first trailer to see Superman in action. We also get our first glimpse of Mr. Terrific, played by Eddie Gathegi. His look seems ripped straight from the comics and is pretty cool, though his haircut is a bit off-putting to me, but that's subjective. From other angles, Terrific looks much better. Again, let's reserve judgment until we see the trailer. Rachel Brosnahan debuts as Lois, and we've got a detailed look at her too. In additional photos, Jimmy Olsen, played by Skylar Gisondo, makes an appearance. Lois and Jimmy are seen emerging from a strange futuristic ship which could belong to Mr. Terrific given its spherical shape and black and white design. Now let's move on to the earlier shots. James Gunn talked about making Metropolis in his Superman as canonically rich and detailed as possible, and he's not just blowing smoke. The model for Metropolis is Cleveland, which is where the filming is currently happening. Fans and casual Clevelanders have witnessed the set pieces firsthand. The iconic Daily Planet will be housed in the Leader Building, complete with its signature giant globe logo. Set photos captured the installation of this massive symbol, seemingly poised to topple onto someone during battles. And action scenes around the Daily Planet are a given, considering the photos of concrete ruins scattered around the nearby streets. Canonically, the Daily Planet wasn't Clark's first job as a reporter. Early in his career, he wrote for the Daily Star, formerly known as Cleveland News. The newsroom was located in Cleveland, which is fitting since one of Superman's creators, Joe Shuster, moved there. Gunn is paying homage to the original source material and its creator by filming Superman in his historically accurate city. As for the fictional Metropolis, there are clues suggesting the city will be set in Delaware, which aligns with the comics. Gunn has also brought in canonical establishments from the depths of the DC universe. For instance, Salis Deli, mentioned in issue number 520 of Adventures of Superman, and Carlisle Bakery from issue number 5 of Man of Tomorrow. Clearly, Gunn and his team have thoroughly studied the comics, pulling out countless details that even the most hardcore fans might not recognize. Besides the fresh set photos, we've also got a look at Superman stopping a train, likely inspired by a similar frame from the For All Seasons comic book. In the same newspaper, there's a nod to Grant Morrison, the author of All-Star Superman, whose name appears in an article written by Clark Kent and Jimmy Olsen. Among the Easter eggs is CC Jitters, a coffee shop from DC Universe that first appeared in the 3rd volume of the solo series about The Flash. This coffee shop has shown up outside of the comics, from the Flash series to the Snyderverse. Notably, the Metropolis Public Library from Batman v Superman will now be part of James Gunn's new universe. On Metropolis's streets, there are indirect references to the Bat family, with a movie about them already announced. We see the bar The Wounded Duck, which was opened by Tim Drake from Earth 2. This raises the question of whether the bar is just a nod, or if we can expect Tim to appear in The Brave and The Bold. Additionally, Maxwell Lord, played by Sean Gunn, will appear in Superman. It's still unclear what role Maxwell will play, but the Lord Tech logo spotted on set might hint at the character's entrepreneurial ambitions. But in the comics, Max wasn't at the helm of such a company, unlike his adaptation in the Supergirl series where Lord Technologies was featured. This suggests that Gunn's inspirations come not just from comics, but also from previous films and TV shows. Also, there's an electronics store called Quitely & Sons, named after comic artist Vincent Patrick. Under the pseudonym Frank Quitely, he contributed to many stories, including All-Star Superman, which Gunn highlighted as one of his main creative influences. The latest photo reveals another canonical detail: the fan club of Metropolis's local baseball team named the Meteors. They first appeared in the 1973 issue of Strange Sports Stories. However, not everything is smooth sailing with James Gunn's Easter eggs. For instance, if you look at the crest of Metropolis, it states the city's founding year as 1645, but according to the comics, it was founded a century earlier in 1542. It's unlikely Gunn overlooked this. The closest date I found was 1644. when the indigenous people of Metropolis Island sold the land to Europeans. The crest also features a 2D city view, clearly showing the Daily Planet and a skyscraper resembling LexCorp's tower. However, in the movie, it will be called Luthor Corp, confirmed by numerous photos of military objects bearing Luthor's logos, including mysterious barrels, armored vehicles, and a full-size truck. Interestingly, most of these objects are concentrated on a coastal base, where a massive action scene is evidently expected. At this point, it's tough to draw any conclusions about the upcoming movie. Nonetheless, it's clear that Gunn has meticulously studied classic comics, extracting numerous obscure details from the depths of DC Universe, which will likely fill his new cinematic universe. Regarding production, filming for Superman is set to wrap up in about a month, after which the film will enter a lengthy post-production phase. The premiere is scheduled for summer 2025, giving James Gunn and Peter Safran plenty of time to complete the movie and either delight or disappoint us. Subscribe for more.